What's the number one reason people say AI doesn't work for them? It's not because they picked the wrong tool. It's not because they're not techy enough. It's not even because AI is too robotic. It's how they're using it. Most people are skipping the most important step, the one thing that makes all the difference between getting something that sounds generic and something that actually sounds like you. And in this video, I'm going to show you what that missing step is, why it matters, how to fix it, and how to finally make AI feel like a natural aligned part of your business. So let's get into it. AI is everywhere right now. Everywhere you look, your feed, your inbox, every other headline, it's AI this, AI that. And with all the hype comes a lot of noise, conflicting advice, overcomplicating tools, and a whole bunch of content that just doesn't sound right. Have you ever seen an AI generated post or video and thought, yikes, that feels super off? Or maybe you've even tried to prompt yourself and what came back was so robotic, so awkward, so not you that you closed the tab and never went back. In fact, the first time I tried generating a full blog post with AI, I thought, why does this read like a 7th grade book report? It wasn't that the tool was bad, it was just that I hadn't told it how to think. I just threw a prompt at it and hoped for magic. And that is where most people go wrong. We assume that AI is this instant genius that can read our mind and write like us. But here's the thing, AI is only as good as the direction that you give it. It's not a mind reader. It's more like a really eager intern, one that's fast, smart, and never sleeps, but still needs to be trained. So that's why today's video is so important, because once you stop treating AI like a magic vending machine and start treating it like a team member, everything changes. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what most people are skipping and how to train your AI to sound like you, think like you, and actually support your business the way a real assistant would. So let's get into the mistake I see all the time. It usually starts with someone saying, I tried AI, but it didn't sound like me. It felt flat, generic, or like someone else wrote it. And here's the thing, you're not wrong. It probably didn't sound like you, but that's not because the tool doesn't work. It's because you didn't train it to think like you. So let's break this down. So if you hired a virtual assistant tomorrow, would you hand them a blank document and say, write a sales email in my voice and then walk away? Of course not. You'd give them some context. You'd walk them through your offers, your styles, your quirks. You'd probably share some of your best performing emails as examples. And maybe even give them a checklist or brand line guidelines to follow. And that's what training looks like. That's what creates consistency. That's how we build alignment in between what's in our brain and what ends up on the page. And AI, it needs the same thing. So let me show you a quick example so this really clicks. So here's a basic generic prompt most people use. Write an email to promote my online course. Now here's a trained version. Write a friendly conversational email that sounds like a mindset coach who's passionate about helping overwhelmed solopreneurs feel in control again. The tone should be warm and grounded, and mention a free guide called The Reset Ritual without sounding pushy. Use short sentences and natural language. Start with a relatable story about burnout and end with a gentle call to action. Totally different vibe, right? Same AI, different instructions. And the difference between those two emails, night and day. The first one feels robotic. The second one actually sounds like something you'd write yourself. So here's the truth. We're not just testing AI tools, we're testing how we use them. It's not about the app, it's about the input. So I want you to kind of think of it like the scientific method, that thing we learned in elementary school. The tool is the constant, the variable is your instruction, and if you want better output, you got to tweak the input. Because when AI knows who you are, what you care about, and how you speak, that's when the magic happens. Next, I'll talk to you about exactly how to start training your AI like a real team member. Okay, so let's talk about what it actually means to train your AI, because I know that word can sound intimidating, like you need to know how to code or upload some massive spreadsheet or do something super technical. But honestly, training your AI is way more human than it is technical. It's not about algorithms, it's about clarity. So I want you to think of it like onboarding a new team member. If you were hiring someone to help write content, again, you wouldn't just toss them into the deep end, right? You'd sit them down and say, okay, here's how I speak, here's who we're talking to, here's what I care about, and here's how I want people to feel when they hear from us. That's exactly how I approach AI. You're giving it the inside scoop on your business so that it can support you like a real assistant, not a robot. So let's break down what this looks like in plain English. So first, you want to define your brand tone. Are you funny and edgy, calm and professional, bold and punchy? You'd be surprised how much of a difference this makes in your output. Next, your key phrases. We all have those go-to lines we say over and over. It might be a catchphrase, a metaphor, or a way you explain your method. So for example, I always talk about scaling without burnout or about AI being like an assistant, not a replacement. Those ideas shape how I train the AI to talk like me. And then you've got your audience profile. So who are you talking to? Are they beginner coaches, busy moms launching side hustles, mid-career experts transitioning into digital products? The more clearly you can describe your people, the more useful your AI becomes. And after that, it's all about your values and voice filters. So what do you not want to sound like? So for example, one of my clients said, I never want my AI content to feel salesy, hypey, or like bro markety. So we trained her AI to avoid urgency language, all caps headlines, and anything that felt like fake scarcity. That's a huge piece of alignment. And finally, your frameworks. If you teach a certain structure like a 3-step method, a signature process, or a unique metaphor, you can feed that to the AI too. So when it generates content, it follows your rhythm, not someone else's. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story. One of my community members, a mindset coach will say is Jess, has been using ChatGPT for months. But she told me it always sounded off, like too formal, too generic, just not her. So we sat down and mapped out her voice. She described her tone as empowering but grounded. Her clients are mostly women in transition, either leaving corporate, rebuilding confidence, starting fresh. She shared a few phrases she always said on coaching calls, and she gave me one of her best performing Instagram posts as a tone reference. We built a short AI profile based on those things, literally just a few bullet points and examples. And then she gave it a prompt, and for the first time she said, oh wait, this actually sounds like me. And so that's what happens when you train your AI to think like you. It doesn't require tech skills, it requires intention. And that one shift, that's what takes your AI from being a gimmick to being an actual partner in your business. Next, I'm going to show you how to do this using my Build Your AI Brain method. So if you're ready to start crafting your own AI team member, stick around. This is where it gets really good. All right, so now that you understand what training your AI actually means, let's make it real. So I want to give you a quick win, something you can do right now. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need a fancy framework. Just open up ChatGPT. If you've got the free version, that works too. And let's get started with a simple exercise. So I want you to think of this like creating a mini brain file. You're not building the whole system yet. You're just giving your AI a little bit of direction so it can start thinking like you. So here's what you're going to do. In ChatGPT, I want you to paste this prompt. Hi, I'm training you to help me write like I do in my business. I'll give you a few details about my brand voice, key phrases I use, and what I want to accomplish. Then I'll ask you to help me write content in that voice. Ready? Now, once you paste that, you're going to give it 3 simple things. First, 3 words or phrases that describe your tone. Are you casual and conversational, warm and encouraging? Or are you more structured and strategic? And then I want you to choose 3 that feel like you. So for example, mine might be relatable, strategic, and a little witty, or direct, friendly, no fluff, or even calm, empowering, grounded in integrity. There's no wrong answer here. The goal is to start identifying how you naturally communicate. Second, you want to give it 3 go-to phrases you say a lot. What are the things that you find yourself repeating to clients, to your community, on coaching calls? It should be, it could be something like start before you're ready, or don't overthink, simplify. Consistency beats perfection. These are little cues that help the AI start mirroring how you actually speak. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just laying the foundation. And third, share one specific goal for your AI assistant. What do you want it to help you with? Write Instagram captions, drafting weekly emails, maybe summarizing your coaching calls into social content. I want you to pick one, just one, because that clarity is everything, okay? Now, once you've entered all that, hit send and see what happens. And what you've just done, without realizing it, is start building your AI brain. It's not just a prompt, it's a blueprint. And you've started to give your AI the context it needs to serve you better, not just with words, but with intention. Now, this is the first step toward building a custom trained assistant that actually sounds like you, supports your strategy, and helps you get back your time without losing your voice. And we're just getting started. Now, before we wrap up, I want to gently call out something I see all the time. It's when someone gets excited about AI and maybe they've seen what it can do and then they go all in. They start using it to write everything. So their emails, social posts, landing pages, launch content, all of it. But here's the issue. They skip the most important part. They don't give it context, they don't give it any real direction, they don't edit, and what comes out isn't bad, but it's just bland. It's content that technically checks the box, but it doesn't connect, it doesn't convert, it doesn't feel like you. And when that happens, it's really easy to blame the tool. You think, well, this just doesn't sound right, or AI isn't for me. But really, what's missing is the guardrails, the guidance. AI is not your replacement. It's not meant to do your thinking for you. It's meant to take your thinking, your voice, your brand, your values, and amplify it. Kind of like a microphone. If the input is fuzzy, the output won't sound great. But when the input is clear, aligned, and intentional, AI becomes a megaphone for the work you're already doing. So don't hand over the mic and walk away. Use it as a partner. Shape the message, because that's where the power is. That's how you use AI to scale your voice, not lose it. All right, so let's bring it all together. If there's one thing I want you to walk away with today, it's this. The biggest mistake people make with AI is skipping the training phase. They try to use it straight out of the box, paste in a quick prompt they found online, and then they get frustrated when the output feels off. But it's not because the tool doesn't work. It's because the tool doesn't know you yet. Your AI is only as good as what you feed it. And if you've never told it who you are, what your tone sounds like, what your audience cares about, how can it deliver anything that feels aligned? And so that's why I created something to help you fix that from the very beginning. It's called Build Your AI Brain, and it's a hands-on step-by-step workshop where I'll walk you through exactly how to train AI to think like you. You don't need to be techie. You don't need to know how to prompt engineer anything fancy. All you need is your voice, your brand, and an hour to get it done. Now, by the end of the workshop, you'll have a fully trained AI assistant that knows your tone, your offers, your ideal audience, and it'll actually sound like you. This isn't just about saving time, it's about building a business system that thinks and speaks in alignment with the real you. So if you're ready to finally feel confident using AI without sacrificing authenticity, click the link below and join me for the Build Your AI Brain workshop. Let's build something that works for you, not something you have to babysit. Don't let bad prompts or bad assumptions hold you back. Train your AI and let it do its job. You've got this, and I'll see you inside.